Shalom. Let me get straight into this lesson. This the beloved brother, friends of the prophets. He did a beautiful lesson going into how, these women are coming to, some of these Babylonian women are coming to the understanding that they got played with feminism. And, this is the system that the so-called white man facilitated when he pushed the feminism agenda to make the woman turn against the man. And thus you have a household with single women and the children. So this is gonna only intensify. We're in a stage of the Lord is gonna get all his enemies back. That people that sided with this system, they sided with Esau Edom, they're gonna get payback. Um, so I'm gonna read this real quick. It says, I'm so terrified. And it reminds me of a precept. I'm gonna get to it. 40 million to lose food assistance amid shutdown. I have 6 kids and we eat off EBT, which is now shut down. It won't be issuing any more benefits. So they got to cut off for November. And we'll see how this play out because these devils play a lot of games, a lot of mind games. But as of today, no benefits are going out for November. So a lot of women, right, in this Babylonian system, drunk the wine of feminism. They said they didn't need a man. They actually put hell on the man that was in their life. And you do have some men out here that, ain't by nothing. I'm not talking about that, but I'm saying a lot of times when a man is not there, it's because the woman was a straight demon, right? She said, I don't need you. I get the system to take care of me. And now this is, backfiring because you don't build the Lord don't operate like this with this folly of this devil. So I'm gonna get into this video, play a few minutes of it so you can get the pulse of what's going on. Then I'm gonna hit some scriptures and then, commentary.
See, this is affecting everybody. Shedemites, heathens. Hey, they like to have a lot of pets, their cats, their dogs, all right, gerbils, weasels, and whatever else animals they got. It's affecting them too, because if they don't eat, their animals ain't gonna eat. All right, keep going.
Finally got confirmation that food stamps is officially cut for next month. About 2 months ago, I stopped eating dinner almost every night of the week so that my boyfriend and I could have enough food left over to have lunch the next day. This was before we were about to lose our food stamps. Mind you, we both work.
I don't think that we really realize the depths that this is, the damage that this is going to do, but the women, the mothers, and the families, but the mothers especially, who are going to go without meals so their children don't have to.
And you see a lot of these women drunk the Babylonian wine and said they didn't need no man. And this is affecting Edomites on a high level too. And this is not talked about. Edomites are, these curses falling upon them too. Because the Lord is getting ready to flip the table over. So he's, bringing this great misery on all these Babylonians, these people that bought into feminism, because the target was you so-called Blacks, Hispanic, and Native American women with the feminism, but it backfired on them because a lot of these Edomite women drunk that wine too. Right? So this is the end result of when you have a society out of order like this. That's why when you go into Babylon, when you look the word up, it means confusion, because you don't build a society when you have no man in the household. And actually, they targeted Jake, the so-called Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans, when they said, we'll give you federal assistance, but a man cannot be living in the household. That was targeted towards you so-called Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans, but it backfired because it's affecting these Edomites too. Let's keep going.
I know that I will absolutely be one of those mothers.
But because we have children and because aftercare and before care is too expensive, I've taken a job that's basically minimum wage so that I can be there to pick up my kids. I cannot fathom what we're going to do without that food stamp money, because if I already couldn't eat dinner with that food stamp money.
And this will happen when women don't take correction. Women have to be guided. So some of you sisters that we kind of hard on, on women, um, but we have to be in order. And you know, that feminism demon has you in disorder, and the Lord wants you to be in order, but so you can, qualify for salvation. That's what this is all about, because you have to have a renewing of the mind. You can't be a feminist woman in the truth. So sometimes it come out harsh, but it's for your betterment. And we love our sisters at the end of the day. You just got to come correct. Just what it is. Because we got to get correct. You got to get correct too.
And they say people here wondering what families would do next month without food stamps.
I'm so tired of seeing people say, like, oh, well, maybe if you had a job, you could get your groceries, or, you know what I'm saying, you wouldn't have to depend on stamps. I work full time. Thank you. And I do rely on stamps because guess what? It's not enough money in this economy for me to be able to pay bills and get stuff that we need and provide for my.
And a lot of these women are very haughty. You can't tell them nothing. They're combative. They'll argue with you. And a lot of men they didn't want to be a part of that drama. So they just, took off. Now they're left with this carnage because, the other nation women, that's why Jake is going to the Edomites, the Edomite women, because they cooperate with you. They listen. They take, criticism, right? They know how to treat you. And I'm not saying that there's no Jake women out there that know how to take care of a man, but that's just what it is. It's just horrible. So let me get into this lesson. And as a woman in the truth, you have to take the correction. Take the correction, get it together, and keep it moving. That's all you got to do. It's a simple task. It ain't that complicated, because this is why you're here. You're here for salvation, because you see things getting so bad, and it's gonna get to a point to where it's gonna be chaotic. And then when that time comes, that reminds me of Proverbs. Um, Matter of fact, I'll just get it real quick. All right, let me get into this. Proverbs 1 and 24. And this applies to the men and the women, but I'm focusing on the women. It says, Proverbs 1 and 24, because I have called and ye refuse. And what our people call this, they'll say we're in a cult. They'll say this all this nasty stuff, about us, bringing out the truth. They'll say it's, um, we crazy, conspiracy theorists. We done heard it all, you know. They'll say misogynistic, all that. It says, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. Let's keep going. So we giving you an introduction to the true God out of the Bible, not what you've been taught in fantasy Christianity. Proverbs 1 and 25. But you have set and not at all my counsel, and would none of my reprove. So you want to hear it. Our people heard this truth. The women hear it. You sisters, you get it. You waking up. You coming out those ways, and you getting in order. Let's keep going. But the women of the world, they're not going to do this. What's going to happen? Proverbs 1 and 26. I will also laugh at your calamity. I will mock when fear cometh. So the Lord got something for that ass. He got some for the rebellious women of our nation and just the rebellious women in this Babylonian system. It says 1 and 27, when your fear coming as a desolation and your destruction coming as a whirlwind, when the stress and anguish coming upon you, that's what you're seeing come upon these women, distress and anguish. Then should they call upon me. Then they're going to try to get their stuff together, but it's going to be too late. But I would not answer, and they should seek me early, but they should not find me. The truth going to be cut off. So that's why we're giving you a fair warning right now before things get to this level. And it's going to happen. You're seeing the beginning phases of this. Isaiah 32 and 9. It says, rise up, ye women that are at ease. So these women that's living these luxury lives and, fans only girls and doing all this, it says, hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give your ear unto my speech, because in Babylon, it teach women how to be careless, to be proud, to be stubborn, to be combative, to not listen. Isaiah 32 and 10. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, and the gathering shall not come. So the Lord is giving you a fair warning before things get to this level. So if you don't listen, that's on you. Isaiah 32:11, it says, tremble. That's what you're seeing some of these women do. Tremble. They scared, they nervous, they don't know what's going to happen. They don't know how they're going to feed their kids. It says, ye women that are at ease, be troubled. Ye careless ones, strip you, and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. So let's go here. And people in a great state of confusion. They don't know what's going on. They don't know why it's happening. They don't know nothing. Isaiah 24:10, it says, the city of confusion. What does Babylon mean? It means confusion. It's broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. Let's keep going. Isaiah 24:11. There's a cry for wine in the streets, and all the joy is darkened, so ain't no more happy times. all you pagan festivals, like Thanksgiving Day, it's gonna come to naught. Christmas gonna come to naught. We've been telling you that's all idolatry, but you don't listen. It says the joy is darkened, the mirth of the land is gone. People in survival mode right now. All that playing and laugh and TikTok challenges. You know what I'm saying? We've been talking about this for years now, that this day was gonna come. And it's gonna get worse. That all this laughing and shit is coming to an end. Joking and playing. Okay, let's go here. Go to this word tremble. It says tremble. It says of a person, a part of the body, shake involuntarily. It says typically as a result of anxiety. You hear this? It says quiver, twitch. See if I get some more. Okay, it says right here, Cambridge Dictionary. It says an act of shaking slightly in a way that you cannot control. For example, because you are frightened, angry. You know what I'm saying? But in a spiritual sense, to be worried, to be scared, to be nervous. And say if they cut the food stamps back on, you best believe this was a trial run. And they planning some more shiesty stuff down the road. And they gonna end up, you know what I'm saying, entrapping more people because this is how this devil do. But he letting you know right now what's going on, like how he got people in a trap. It says Luke 21:25, and there should be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars upon the earth, distress of nations. That's what you see in all this turmoil in different nations, wars and rumors of wars, trade, this tariff thing, the BRICS nations, all this different stuff. They going digital with perplexity, and the sea and the waves roaring. So it's a great time of perplexity. Let's go to this word perplexity. It says perplexity. It says the inability to deal with or understand something complicated or unaccountable. It says the state of being bewilderment. It says a state of confusion, that's the one I'm looking for, or a complicated and difficult situation or thing. So a state of confusion is what the people in because they don't know what's going on. They don't know what's going to happen next. And this devil is planning all kind of things. He got all kind of psyops that he's doing and that he's planning to do to get you more dependent on the system. And that's why we've been telling you, brothers and you sisters, if you can grow food, learn how to fish and stuff like that, you know. So I've been learning this stuff as well. So you're learning this well because you never know. But we ultimately depend on Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah at the end of the day, right? So this, go here. I'm going to do a lesson about feminism. It says feminism. This devil do everything opposite of what the Lord say do. That's why he the devil. The advocacy of women's rights on the basis of equality. Did not the scriptures give us the order? Is Yahweh Shah, the man and the woman. Ain't no equality. The man is over the woman. But this devil went and did the opposite thing and fed that to you. And that's why you got all this dysfunctionality among these women. Hopefully this lesson was edifying. Call Allah Yahweh. Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rachat, Kodash, Shalom.